Nathan, normally when I come and see you, it's to talk about a fight, but obviously that's not the case at present because we don't know when that's going to be. Hopefully it's soon, but you were fortunate enough anyway to get out in March, wasn't you?
Yeah, well, we were all a bit worried that weren't going to go through. Obviously, it was the weekend before lockdown, so I think we obviously fortunate to get out, and I'm glad we did. Especially it's always important to pick up the rounds, and it was my first 6 rounder, so I wanted to get it in, and lucky enough I did.
Yeah, against a tough kid, but it was nice. As I always say to you, mate, you every time I see you getting back in the ring, you're always bringing something slightly different. And I think this time we weren't just seeing the power, but we seemed a much more fluid you. You were switching in there and also having a lot of fun.
Yeah, sometimes you go in and you can't stop them, and I started learning the switching and stuff like that 2 weeks before the fight, and I just thought there's no better opportunity to do it than to do it in actual fighting rather than doing it in sparring or on the bags, and just again took it as another learning fight. And you get some things wrong, but you're only gonna improve next time when you come to do it and when you keep practicing. So that was one of the main focal points, really.
Well, we've always said, at 24, you're quite young for the cruiserweight division, and we're hoping if everything gets back to normal before the end of this year, and maybe the back end of 2021, you could be looking for those titles. But the way the situation's going now, the foreign imports that we've had to bring in for you because we can't get the other English lads to fight, might be a good thing. It might mean some doors might open for you, and maybe some of those local rivals and Northwest fights at cruiserweight could happen, and you sort of like propel you a little bit sooner than rather than later.
Well, yeah, we just got to see what happens, really, and whatever Steve thinks. I was speaking to him the other day about the situation, and we just got to see what comes up, and if it's the right fight, then I'll happily take it. But again, this year, even if I can't get out this year, if I can get out for sparring and stuff like that, for the lads who will be fighting, take a year of like a sparring camp type thing, and then come next year, because obviously I won't be picking up the rounds in the fights. If I can do it with top lads and sparring, it's only going to bring me on. And then come next year, then I know I'll be 100% ready to take on to the next level.
You're telling me you've been doing a bit more weights while you've had this break, because even though you're not small, you feel like you're still a bit more growing for you to do.
Well, yeah, I'm making the weight comfortably on the day. When it starts coming to the day before weigh-ins, I want to be not cutting too much, but coming in really, so that the next day when I drink my fluids and stuff, I'm really coming in a big cruiserweight, because I'm a big cruiserweight on the day. But some of these lads at cruiser probably wouldn't be able to make it on the day because they're a lot bigger. So
two different parts of your career, isn't it?
Yeah.
Day befores and on the day weigh-ins, it can make a massive difference, especially at cruiserweight, because some of those guys are coming in as small heavyweights, aren't they?
Yeah. So it's just trying to build and trying to learn as best as I can, really.
Well, the reason why we're going to do this little chat, as we said, with no fights or anything like that, but it's Mental Awareness Week. And I know you had a problem with gambling a bit ago, but I didn't realise it was as serious as it was. I mean, because, what were you, 17 years old and suddenly...
I started gambling at 17, yeah.
Well, didn't you have a big win or something early on?
As with everything, you start off doing little accumulators on the footy and that. And I think it was out of one day I was in the bookies and my mate was in there with me, and we end up having a go on the FOBT machines.
What then?
And Yeah, sorry.
What are those machines? Because I'm
Oh,
not a
the
gambler, you see.
fixed odds betting.
Oh,
So it's
right,
like roulette and stuff like that.
right.
You know, and we won. So we went back the next day, and then it just really started, you know, slowly but surely. You know, your dopamine pathways start getting more intense, and you know that's how your addiction starts. And you know, the £100 wins that you're made up with before are no longer enough, and you know, it just carried on like that. And in
Mm.
the end, for me, it wasn't even about winning money anymore. It was more just getting the buzz from it. And then it was, well, I stopped. I stopped for a year in 2000 and, what are we in now? 2000. I think I stopped for a year in 2017,
Mm-hmm.
and then Cheltenham come about. You know, I love horse racing and stuff like that. But it was never really my problem. I could bet on the horses and call it a day if it lost and stuff like that. But it was more, I was in the betting shop, and you know, I'd get me winnings and then I'd put them in the machines. And at the time, you could bet up to £100 in every 10 seconds. So it was just, um, you know, it was a rough part of my life, really.
So, what did that entail then? I mean, what, you're 19, 20 years old. Were you in debt then?
Um, I wasn't in debt at 19, but you know, I was lending off my mates and stuff to gamble.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until 2018, then when I got into debt. It was after my first pro fight. You know, I got paid around the same time as well. You know, I blew me boxing wages, blew my wages, and then just spiraled out of control. Really getting, you know, payday loans and stuff like that. In and out the bank in about 3 days. Must have wins and losses accumulated up to about 14 grand in 3 days. Yeah, so
There's a lot of money there. A lot of money,
yeah, well,
especially at that age. Because
yeah,
your boxing career, you're not at this stage even now. You know, you can't live off your boxing earnings, can you? You know,
no,
it's if it wasn't for the sponsors and people that help you that way, you know, it's what you're fighting for is your future. You're fighting for what comes in 5, 6, 7, 8 fights down the line when you get to those titles, and you know you're fighting on the big stage. That's what every boxer dreams of, isn't it?
yeah,
What you're doing now is just surviving, isn't it? And I presume that must have made it really hard, because where did you find 14
yeah.
grand?
It was, you know, I ended up telling my mum first. I waited. I kept leaving it, and in the end, it was. I think we'd had a barbecue. My dad gone to work, and I ended up telling my mum, and you know, they helped me through it, and you know, my uncle did as well. Big mass Mark, my mum and dad. You know, everyone really. I just lucky enough to have a good support base to help me through it. And then, you know, I've always said I didn't need help. I tried GA and didn't enjoy it. But then because I'd got into such a bad place, I went over to Beacon Counselling in on Townsend Lane in Liverpool, which is that's one-to-one counselling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I still go there now. Um, you know, it's hard because I've went through so many years of you know, living day to day, trying to find money for this, trying to find money for that, you know, living up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And now, you know, when it's all over, you know, I'm generally living on a level playing field now, and it's, you know, I find that hard as well because I've not done it for so long.
Yeah.
Um, so
Just the
it's
highs.
tough to do as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And the lows are bad, but the highs are that good that it's worth it, isn't it? So, yeah.
You know, when I've been doing speeches and stuff for lived experience, you know, we with Neil from Beacon Counselling, we formed the Northwest Alliance. and we done a launch day, and I done a speech there. And when I bet on the roulette was my problem. When I bet on the roulette, I don't get anything next to that. With the adrenaline I get from it. Even when I'm fighting, I come in calm, and I get more adrenaline from gambling on the roulette than I do with anything else. So it's hard to that's what I find hardest the most, not from winning money and stuff like that. It was never about, in the end, it was never about that. It was just trying to reach that
So what have you replaced it with then? What have you replaced it with?
Well, I haven't really. Obviously the boxing obviously helps because you keep your mind active, and I've tried other stuff, and then in the end,
this is why you might have improved as quickly as you have over the last 18 months, because you're more fully focused on the boxing then.
Well, yeah, when I was an amateur, I was coming in and I'd blew me wages and stuff, and you're just coming in, pretending nothing happened, but in the back of your mind, you're still thinking about what you've done, and what am I going to do next? And it probably did have an impact on me fighting, especially when when I've been gambling 2 days before or the day before, and I'm fighting the next night. It probably did have an impact on me, but it would have. So I'm just one of the lucky ones really who managed to get out and get the help I needed.
I was watching that last night. Harry's Heroes, and Paul Merton was on there, and if you remember last time, he broke down because he was a big gambler, wasn't he? And you find that a lot of sportsmen, because you have a lot of time on your hands, it is a big issue. And I presume with the fact that you don't have to go into bookies no more because you can do it on your phone. It must make the temptation really, really hard, and I can see why it's a major issue at present.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there now which wasn't around even when I was at the height of my gambling. Especially I was 17 and there was no such thing as ID checks then online. I managed to make an account at 17, just put a fake date of birth in it, and you're good to go. You have stuff like GamStop, where you just put your name in, your details, and you can ban yourself up to a year or 5 years.
That's
which
good.
which you can't. And every UK regulator, every UK gambling is regulated by it now. So if you put that in, there's no way you can make an account. And then there's something called GamStop as well. Gamban it is. I think you buy it for about £20 a year, and if I try and go on a website now on my phone, it blocks the VPN.
Because it's going to be moments when you have that weak moment, isn't it? You think, oh well, one's not going to hurt, and the next thing, like you say, one leads to another, and suddenly you can be in debt very quickly, as you were saying. What was it, £100 every? What?
100 at the time. They've been limited now to £2, but at the time it was you could bet up to £100 in every 10 seconds on the roulette machines. Yeah,
crazy.
So it was, you literally could go through £1,000 in, 5 minutes if you lost every spin. And there's times when you do lose every spin as well, because it was the bookies' biggest earner. It was bigger than everything they had.
Well, that's why they've got loads of money, mate.
Yeah.
Good bookies are never poor, are they?
So it's just I've learned over the years, and I've learned from doing the counselling as well. I have a big understanding on why I do gamble, and it's all to do with your dopamine in the brain. That's what gives you adrenaline, and that's what gives you the high. So it's just about keeping a correct system. I know if I have.
When things are, when you're feeling low and that's going to happen and this, and so you're more aware of yourself now.
Well, yeah, I follow a thing that my counselor told me. It was called ATM. It was accessibility, time, and money. And that helped me a lot. Where's your access? Your bookies, you're online on your phone. I've obviously got a lot of time on my hands, and if I have money, it all comes hand in hand. And if you can put barriers in place, like your GAM stop or your GAM ban, self-exclusion from bookies, it's going to be a lot harder to do it. So if you do get an urge, by the time if you do actually find a way to gamble, you'll be fine again. Yeah, the urges will be gone.
So it's something that you got to fight all your life.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah. But it's.
Hopefully you can.
I obviously regret what I've done, but would it be the person I am now without it? You don't know. So everything happens for a reason, I guess.
Was it what doesn't break you that makes you stronger? So
yeah.
Maybe it's give you that mental edge for your boxing career to propel you, like we hope in the next 12 months to that next stage. And like I say, you were fortunate to fight on the night that we had the Central Area fight between Damien Chambers and Jay Farrell, and what a cracking night. And I presume that's what you want next, something like that, something to get your teeth into, and to get the crowd excited behind you, isn't it? And that real buzz, win or lose, it was a great fight, wasn't it?
Yeah. I just want to do my career right, and when the fights start coming, I'll be ready for them, and hopefully sooner rather than later I'll be with the big boys then, and you start getting promoted and really on the big stage then. And
obviously Quarless is a massive boxing name in Liverpool, with your uncle. Do you find that is a hindrance because you've got high expectations on you, or is it a bonus?
I wouldn't say. I don't really think anything to it really. I know what I can do, and that's it. I don't think about Noel or anything like that. I wouldn't say it's a hindrance or a bonus really. It's just one of them things, and just got to do what I do, and there's nothing to do with names. I've still got to do it at the end of the day. By myself, or I'm with me coaches.
It can be hard when you come from a boxing family. You can get criticised for, he's nothing like his father, he's nothing like this or that. So I just wanted to know whether it was an added bonus or whether it was a hindrance.
No, not really. The only thing that used to bother me a little bit was
me calling
everything was either getting called Noel or everything was nephew and Noel. So that was but it doesn't bother me. He was a good fighter, and that's that. It's got to do what I do now. And
well, he was fighting as a heavyweight, and perhaps he wasn't much heavier than you are, if not lighter, probably in his.
But that was just before the Giants, wasn't it? Really, Lennox. Even at the time when he fought Lennox wasn't.
He beat one of the Giants, one of the original Giants, in John Tate, didn't he? One of only 3 men to beat him, and it wasn't like he beat him at the end of his career when he was past his best. He beat him when he was a peak, John Tate.
Yeah, and when he fought Eklund as well, he didn't. He should have got the European title fight for that, but politics and all, he never got it, and Eklund got it instead.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's boxing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, like I say, we'll in 2021 we'll see you picking up your first title, and
hopefully anyway. Just got to keep training, keep learning.
At 25, if you get your first title, that is ridiculously young for a cruiserweight in Britain. Most of the lads are in their late 20s now, looking to progress. So hopefully it could stand you in good stead for further down the line, eh, mate?
Yeah, because a lot of the fighters are going to be fighting. No, I'm going to speak to Steve to see if there's any paid sparring going to let me know. But I won't be fighting, so more than
how
happy.
do you find that? Because you've been a sparring partner for his last 2 camps with Hugh Fury. Now, he's a big guy. Is that where you were picking up the switching from?
Well, yeah, they helped me a lot with the switching. One of the spars, it was my first spar back from in the last camp. He was switching all over the gaff, and I was like, honestly, I was stuck in the mud at times with it, with him switching, and I didn't know where he was and stuff like that. And they showed me how to do it. Really, can't thank
That's
them
what made
enough.
you
But I
decide
don't
to
have,
add that to your game because of the awkwardness that you found fighting him. You thought, well, that'd be a nice little
that thing
tool
on me
in
as
my
well.
bag.
Yeah. So I've been practicing it a lot, and I was doing it in my fights, doing it on the back foot. I'm practicing doing it on the front foot now as well. So adding more things into my armory as well. So when I come to step up to the big fights, I'll have different things in the locker in different fights, whatever's needed really.
So
So
I presume this downtime then is good because these things that you're talking about, the power, the strength, which we've seen come through. I mean, you've always been a sweet boxer, but now you're adding the switch into your game. It could all work in your favour, couldn't it? And as I keep saying, probably one of our most improved fighters over the last 18 months. So it'll be intriguing to see how you come back and what new tricks you've added to your game.
yeah, because when I first turned pro, I didn't even box like that as an amateur for most of my time.
Yeah, aggressive, I got told.
Which, sorry,
As an amateur, I remember speaking to Tommy, and he said you were, instead of a boxer, you were much more of a fighter, quite aggressive.
it's like a box fighter aggression, and it was one year I think I went like 1-5 on the bounce against top lads, couple of top 10 opponents as well, and I boxed PJ Stubbs, and in the first round I snapped a ligament in me right hand, and boxed through it and whatnot. I won the area title in Doncaster, and then it didn't really heal for a long time, and I was still fighting, I was still boxing, so I become more of a boxer
Right.
rather than relying on my power. So in a way, it was a good thing because I learned how to box nicely as well. But then, if I can bring everything together now, I'm gonna be real handful in the division.
And like you say, 7 wins, but no stoppages. But we must admit, I just said, there's a couple of names on there. I mean, I think your fight before your last one on the Jolly Boys. Now that was a little bit of a unknown territory. You're getting with a guy who's just beat a guy, I think who was 12-0,
12-0,
and
yeah.
and he's 1-0. So you obviously knew nothing about him, and here you are. I think at the time you would have been 6-0, wouldn't you? When you're stepping in with a guy who could have been a real danger man.
Yeah, Steve messaged me, and he said, "Oh, we might have someone want to know. I'm not too sure." So I just said to him, "Get it. I know I can beat him." So, I've fought top lads as an amateur, and I beat them. So if I know I can beat these top lads in the amateurs, I can do it in the pros as well. And that's what I've done. So just got to keep learning, keep building, and when it comes to it, I'll be ready. Whenever it is, I'll be ready for it.
Okay then, Nathan, it's been a pleasure. Like I say, it's the first time we've actually spoke about your gambling addiction. So it's nice to find your take on it. And like I say, in this day and age, it's a problem that I think a lot of people are suffering with. So well done to you, and
Nice one, mate.
onwards and upwards. And look forward to watching you go to 8-0.
Yeah, hopefully sometime soon. Anyway,
All
just
right.
want to say big thanks to me sponsors as well, who are they're still backing me even through the coronavirus. Anyway, so they don't have to do that. So I really
Give Mum a
appreciate
shout
it as
out.
well.
I can see him on your t-shirt there. Got Sue Porter. She's brilliant, isn't she? She does loads for
Yeah,
a lot of the boxers in Liverpool.
yeah. Got Epic as well. I met them through one of the talks I've done.
Yeah.
They're a gambling risk management team. Got Absolute Body Solutions. Martin Tondry from Tondry Doors. He's great fella. He just loves boxing. Got A&R facilities. Tony Greenwood, another great man. You know, they're all good in TNS developments. So it's can't thank them enough.
The Solly is not just going to be a force in the amateur game. It looks like there's going to be a big breakthrough in the pro game, because there's about 4 or 5 pro fighters all coming through, all really exciting and all ready to make a name for themselves. Yeah,
you know, we're training hard. Well, when we're all training hard for our fights. You know, Dex has just turned over. It was a long wait.
Really
Matty's doing well. You know, we're all Blaine's doing well, and you know, we're gonna do well.
12 months a bit as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, take care. And like I say, stay safe. And we'll speak to you soon. Hopefully, we'll be down at the Solid, giving little Paul Edwards a bit of stick. Yeah, mate. Take care. Bye.
For all boxing info, news, and latest interviews, amateur and pro across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.